solutions. You have some big plans from nuclear, solar, wind, and I'm wondering how the costing of it is working out. Could you share with us some thoughts?
No, majority are here. They are already in advanced stage also. First time in India, I brought power sector reforms, that is late 90s. By 2004, I was able to achieve power surplus because of the reforms. And also regulatory commission, first of its kind, we set up at the time. With all this very, very creative and positive and also futuristic, I lost election in 2004. But country gained momentum in power sector. Again, 2014, we pushed about solar energy, all renewable energy. Today, I am in a position to push further green energy, either solar, wind, pumped storage, and battery, all solutions. If we can do this, India will be number one in the future on energy sector. As you rightly mentioned recently, we are all measuring diesel is different, petrol is different, gas is different, and power also thermal, all these things. Ultimately, we need energy to run anything, either factory or vehicle or lighting for everything. Now that is where I am working, cost-effective energy sector.
India can be less dependent on West Asia, on the
Then
Gulf.
automatically our Honorable Prime Minister has announced 500 gigawatts green energy by 2030. In that, Andhra Pradesh is going to contribute 160 gigawatts from Andhra Pradesh. Take it for granted, already we are able to achieve nearly 90 gigawatts. That is the speed we are moving forward. Future is totally green energy. Earlier, I don't know where I am getting power. Today, I can generate power on my rooftop, in my field, and also I can use power. Any shortage, government can give through grid. That is where I am working. Prosumer concept, not only domestic. Tomorrow, India is going to export power, electricity, that is not far away, through green hydrogen and also green ammonia, various kinds of energy.
So, but will this mean more technology collaboration with China, because there is the other problem there?
Earlier, yes. Even to have panel, we had to depend on them. Today, we are also moving in that direction. End-to-end solutions, we are able to achieve it. And in Andhra Pradesh, all equipment, even solar panels, everything our people are manufacturing. And also next step, we are going green ammonia. That is also coming in the near future. I am assuring you, Andhra Pradesh will be, because of this, I am fortunate. We are very strong in green energy. Google has come. After economic reforms, highest FDI, 15 billion US dollars they are investing in Visakhapatnam. Day after tomorrow, I am laying the foundation, data center and also AI. So after this, today SIPC we cleared Reliance 1 gigawatt. So many people are coming now. Now I am restricting up to 5 gigawatts. Otherwise, beyond that, I cannot supply power.
You know, back in the days when Andhra was united, we used to travel through Hyderabad. People used to say, the Nizam built Hyderabad, the Britishers built the second city, Sikandrabad, and then Chandrababu Naidu built Cyberabad. Today you are on to another project to build another city, Amravati. Where do you see yourself? You know, I see a lot of work coming, a lot of support also from the central government. What's the road ahead?
No, I am very happy. Most of you have visited Hyderabad. We had two cities, twin cities, Hyderabad, Sikandrabad. Then I added one more city, that is Cyberabad. Today, after that, outer ring road 165 kilometers and best airport, and also we laid strong foundation for knowledge economy. Today, I am proud to say Hyderabad is the best livable city, and Telangana is having highest per capita income. That is how we built that city. God has given me one more opportunity to build another city, that is Amravati. You are all aware, in our mythology, God's capital is Amravati. This is people's capital, Amravati. I am assuring you, anybody wanted to live more lifespan, come and settle in Amravati. That is the future city, green and also blue and also total green energy and also net zero concept. That is how we are building. Hyderabad plus is Amravati. Center is also cooperating. We are going to build one of the best futuristic city, that is Amravati.
So while you talk about the performance and the way your delivery has actually resulted in votes, but you've also lost elections in the process. When you look at the freebies culture and what it has done to Andhra Pradesh economy, and you are now trying to fix it, do you still believe that somewhere, just along with performance, these freebies have become a necessary part of your fiscal condition?
Always I am saying only one thing. One has to create wealth through reform. Then only we can give welfare. Without creating wealth, you cannot generate revenue, you cannot sustain the overall economy. This is where I am arguing. As you rightly mentioned, elections we are winning, but if you do properly, if you lose one election, again you will win subsequent election because of our credibility. Exactly, Andhra Pradesh, all of are here. Now, what type of society we wanted to see in future? Only billionaires, millionaires, or better living standards for everybody? That is where I am working now. P4, P3 is public-private partnership. I am adding one more P, public-private people's partnership. There is a CSR. We are having capacity also. Even I born in a small way. Even our Honorable Prime Minister is always saying, he born in a small way. But he has given direction for the nation. And also I can say proudly, right time, right leader, right place. That is Narendra Modi ji, best performer and also reformer for this great country. So what I am suggesting all of you, it is our responsibility to uplift society. Ultimately, we have to reduce the inequalities between haves and have-nots. Every family should have better living standards, but not only creating wealth, but at the same time, you have to bridge the gap. That is where P4, I made it MBK, Margadarshi Bangaru Kutumbam, 10-20, top 10%, bottom 20% we have to adopt, short term, medium term, long term. You have to invest some time, management techniques, everything. Ultimately, we have to build overall empowerment of that family. That is where we are working. So far, 1 lakh Margadarshis, 10 lakh Bangaru Kutumbams they adopted. This will be a game changer. It is going to help in a big way for society upliftment.
So in that context, were you genuinely unhappy when the women's bill was defeated? And but at the same time, we were quite confused because you supported the bill, but many other southern states, for the fear of delimitation, population issues, did not. How did you process the thought and the vote for your party?
No, this is a very important issue. gender equity and empowering women is very, very important. What government of India has done, right thing. Even around 2001, Vajpayee ji has brought Reorganization Act by keeping 1971 census. And also this is not the new approach. In 1996, first time Devagowda brought women reservations. At the time I was a United Front convener. Congress party didn't support. After that, BJP, Vajpayee ji, NDA government, 3 times he brought it. He was unable to push it. 2010, UPA brought reform for the women reservations. BJP supported in Rajya Sabha. Now 2023, all parties supported unanimously women reservations. Today, why they are opposing, I am unable to understand. PM has announced, Amit Shah has announced very clearly, 50% enhancement of seats for every state, uniformly. Andhra Pradesh, I am having 25. 13 seats will increase. UP will have 80. 40 seats will enhance. Tamil Nadu is having 39. 20 seats will increase. What is the problem? I am unable to understand. Even South and North, uniformly, same proportion, it will increase seats. Now, men also will be very happy. Number of seats are increasing. Women are getting 33%. This is only the way, best solution for the nation to get women reservations. According to me, unnecessarily they are making this issue. Anyway, all women, here you are seeing, I am very happy. Most of them are women. I am proud. In politics, less women are participating even today.
So it's an opportunity lost?
It cannot be. If all women will decide, then 2/3 will come automatically in parliament. Those who are supporting for women, automatically bill will be passed. I am telling you.
So you have had the opportunity to work with various governments. You worked with Vajpayee ji, you worked also with United Front, so many prime ministers. Prime ministers have looked up to you. And today you're working with Modi, you shower so much praise, but would you dare to compare what makes him different, or what is, if you were to compare your experiences with other prime ministers?
I have seen so many prime ministers. I have seen industrialists also. Today you are giving award for me. Not today, long back they have given me same award, 25, 30 years back. Regularly I am going to Davos, not once. Even now I am going to Davos. This is where I wanted to meet investors, promote investment, encourage entrepreneurs, then only it is possible. Now earlier I have seen prime ministers, and also I have worked with presidents of India. Now I am seeing a prime minister. The present prime minister is very, very well versed with all developments. Technology is very strong. He is a strong reformer and also performer. Even earlier I used to claim I am doing better. Now I am openly saying our Prime Minister is better than me. He is always very, very progressive. He is bringing so many reforms in administration also. Everywhere there is one cabinet secretary nominated. Each state they are sending one secretary as a nodal officer. How to simplify the procedures. Even how to make government pro-investment. It is not favoring investors. If you can do that, simplification everything, and automatically investment will come, business will take place, wealth will be created, economy will be improved, then poverty we can eradicate. That is where he is working. We are very happy.
Thank you so much, sir. And please also, I would like to take the opportunity to welcome the Honorable Finance Minister, Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman, who joined us. And so without wasting much time, my last question, and absolutely last question, is you are doing a reverse thinking on population policy. Where does this head?
No, this is very important issue for all of us. 3 decades back, I started population control, family planning. I motivated people we have done successfully. Within 10 years' time, we are able to achieve our goal. Now, South India, we are having a problem, not only India. So many countries are facing the problem of population, aging problem, and also declining population. Even China, you are watching, very fast declining population because one-child norm. Now I am promoting population management. Every couple should have 2 children minimum. Earlier I used to promote 1 is good, 2 is okay, 3 is not correct. Now I am promoting 2 minimum, 3 and more, it is welcome. That is how I am promoting. There is a conflict between wealth and also population. Whenever you are getting more money, we are all become selfish. To run an industry is very easy. To create an industry is very easy, rather than to build a child and also nurture him. That is biggest problem we are facing. In my state, I am seeing 1.5 fertility rate, replacement 2.1, even India is 1.9 now. Same thing, if you continue up to 2047, India will have an advantage, that is young India. After that, same scenario we will face. Ultimately, we are going to work only for machines. Anyway, robotics, everything is coming. Work will be done. But ultimately, in future, those who are having more population, they will be more prosperous and also they will be more strong. This is where I am promoting now. Next month, I am going to start this program. How best I have to do it, I have to work it out. I am appealing total Indians. After I started, so many people are coming forward and also they are talking. But it is very difficult task. I am aware of that. But there is no other way. That is where I am promoting population management.
On that note and goal, so thank you so much
You have
for
to promote. All of you have to promote.
On that note, thank you for the wonderful conversation, and let's leave the dais for the Honorable Finance Minister.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That was a fascinating look at what it takes to build with both scale and speed and stay focused on the long term while navigating the present. Thank you once again, sir. And thank you so much, Pranab, for that wonderful conversation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest really needs very little introduction, though I'm going to attempt one anyway. She has been at the center of India's economic policy making through a period that has tested economies across the world. During that time, India has remained one of the fastest growing major economies with a clear and sustained push on infrastructure and investment and a steady commitment to fiscal discipline. Her tenure has seen the government continue to build at scale, maintain macroeconomic stability through global volatility, and more recently deliver tax relief that has put more money in the hands of consumers. For India Inc., that has translated into something very important: confidence. Confidence to invest, to expand, and to plan for the long term. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to now invite the Honorable Finance Minister of India, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, to this stage. Thank you so much for being here, ma'am. It's wonderful to see you again. in conversation with the executive editor of the Economic Times, Shrutijit KK. Over to you.
Thank you, Madam Finance Minister, for joining us yet again here in Mumbai for this celebration of corporate excellence. I'm particularly grateful that throughout your tenure, you have joined us for this particular event. You are now India's longest continuously serving Finance Minister. Can I ask you, you've handled a lot of crises, a lot of reforms. It's been a hectic time. Could you look back at this time and sort of give us a sense of what this journey has been like?
I'm not sure if I'll be able to summarize anything. Journey, no. I don't look at it like that. I'm all right carrying on with my assignment. But last few years for not just the finance ministry, but in general, has been very challenging. And I'm sure industry leaders, business leaders also have this feeling that never before has there been a stretch of, let's say, 6-7 years, each year posing a different challenge. That's been my experience as well.
As we look at the situation in West Asia and the crisis that has been unfolding for several months now, during your tenure in office, you've handled many crises. One, do you look at this and say, look, this is a little different? Or, is it quite similar to past crises? And what is the source of resilience that India has to navigate this?
I don't see it as something which is very different. Uncertainty marked COVID. Uncertainty marked Russia-Ukraine. Uncertainty marked Israel and now Hormuz. Uncertainty, unpredictability, and challenge for critical inputs that India and its economy needs, fertilizer, fuel, and so on. So it's just seemed to be unending, relentless challenges for these particular commodities which are so critical, not just for India, for any other country as well, but particularly for us because maximum import is of the crude and related products. But the blessing that we have is we have the refining capacity. We can, what little we get, we use for our country and also being able to export. But the uncertainty is the main issue. And the second part of your question is, what is it that which we have as a fallback or as a cushion to take this shock? I think the Indian population and its consumption, essentially your domestic consumption is what is giving you that shock absorbing capacity, if you would want that expression. So as long as we are not going to fail in keeping our consumption boosted and well supported, we can be sure to weather the storm. So that I would think is the biggest support that we have for our economy.
Crude has been testing $100. Crude has historically, oil prices historically has been one of our key macroeconomic vulnerabilities, feeding into, fertilizer prices and everything. So how do you assess the trade-offs in terms of protecting growth, managing inflation, and maintaining external stability?
No, there are no trade-offs. You'll have to just work on all the three simultaneously. There's no way in which you can sit back and say, I have something offsetting this challenge, I have some other thing taking care of some other challenge. No, I think eternal vigil, keeping ourselves alert to the changes, like the latest, which all of you all have also reported in the media, the cyber challenge we have because of the mythos is going to be a big one. on which we've spent some time in the ministry with the banks, with the cyber agencies, which are Government of India agencies and so on. Suddenly, that seems to have taken such a dimension that no one is aware of what exactly this animal is, this beast is, and how exactly is it going to play out. Now, would you have imagined a couple of days or a couple of weeks ago that there is this new threat, which is as big as the threat of the war, which is going to hit us in terms of our entire digital network? That digital network, digitization, has brought in such a great change for India. It's a fantastic force multiplier. But now, again, like any other threat, any other cyber threat, you would think, oh, one more. No, this is a totally different thing and of some dimension which we are yet to grapple. So like that, I think it is just a world where things are changing with such rapidity. We'll just have to keep eternally vigilant.
Actually, we reported the story that the NASSCOM itself has written, the representative body of India's IT sector has written to Anthropic, specifically saying our companies should be given access. And they've given access to 40 companies globally, some of whom they have disclosed, all of which are American, rest of which there is no transparency. Now, on a key matter like this, which really could undermine, all kinds of cybersecurity, especially relevant for banking. So many senior banking leaders are here today. We are in a situation where we are at one level somehow at the mercy of a private entity in another country. How do we tackle these kind of situations?
No, first I want to give you a reassuring word on that. The Ministry of Electronics and Telecommunication, MeitY, is fully seized of the challenge that we are facing. And they are engaging with the US administration, they are engaging with Anthropic themselves, and they are also finding out ways in which those few agencies or vendors who have been given the chance to test what this whole thing is all about, they are in touch with them as well. So the ministry is fully seized of this issue, and they are constantly keeping everyone in touch. In fact, the minister was sitting with me when I interacted with the banks in order to alert them, in order to get them together to see if we already can have ways in which, using artificial intelligence, we are able to respond to the challenge which is coming through MeitY. So I think, to be fair, the ministry is fully seized of the problem. But of course, we'll have to have the ministry also and all of us also working at our levels to see how best we can come up with tools which can help us to face this challenge.
One thing that recent weeks and months have really reinforced is that energy is not just about prices, but also about access. Even if you have the ability to pay, just accessing it for countries around the world, it has become very clear it can be challenging at times. What should India do going forward to secure India's energy security?
Energy security in relation to taxes.
No, I mean, with international routes getting affected, where just being able to access energy can be difficult.
I think India has been, I'm not saying this because I'm part of the government. India has been very clear that its priority is its citizens and their, requirement for energy. And since when, soon after COVID, when prices crashed also, the Indian government has been conscious that every opportunity to give us the comfort in terms of keeping our strategic reserves completely filled and ready, and when prices went up, to give the support required for the oil marketing companies, which have to bring the products first of all into the country and then refine, redistribute and so on. So we have, I think, been very clear that what suits Indian interest will be the top of our priority. Source it from wherever. Source it from wherever it is cheap. Source it wherever who can give us in time the requirement that we have. We have never kept this list of our priority aside. So irrespective of what anyone would say, I think the Indian government put India's interest on the top. And we have been very clear to obtain crude oil and make sure that our energy requirements are met with India's priority on the top rather than any other consideration.
Should I then read that as a guidance about what could happen with regard to, say, fertilizer subsidies? Are we saying that we will prioritize fulfilling and availability of fertilizers and fulfilling all subsidy obligations, even if it is at the cost of the fiscal glide path to which you have assiduously stuck to?
I'll answer that by saying, didn't we do that during COVID? When the fertilizer prices abroad went shooting and hitting the roof, we still bought them at that price and made sure that the supply disruptions do not happen. And above all, the price doesn't get further transmitted to the farmers. The farmers kept paying the same price. We never pushed forward with putting that burden onto the shoulders of the farmers. Farmers paid the same price as before. And therefore, this question, I think, is more for us all to look at what the performance of the government has been even earlier.
We've seen, now I'll come to the matter of FPIs and FPI outflows and FDI flows overall. We've seen for past several years now sustained FPI outflows, and we're more recently also seeing some weakness in FDI numbers. Now, is this part of cyclical global trend, or are there domestic factors we need to address to improve the situation?
I have a difficulty. The moment I answer one way, even if I state the fact, it becomes a headline affecting the sentiments. Stating facts for a minister is becoming a limiting factor. And if I don't say the facts, I will have Shrutijit write, the minister was evasive. So, end of the day, I have no choice. I don't want to win in this situation. But can I last in this situation is what I'm looking at. But I'm sure all of us observe economies. And once earlier when I had said, after all, when many of them book profits, they go out, oh my God, every authority in this world who had an access to a phone was telling the whole world, is this finance minister conscious of what is happening? It's going out. I mean, do I join this league to say, no, not that, but this? No. Every factor, profit booking or looking at global situation, global uncertainty, rupee-dollar exchange rate, everything will hold good when somebody wants to go out. And I'm not undermining the seriousness of the issue. I'm not saying I don't need the money. I don't need investments. I'm not saying that. First of all, sorry for a diversion. And look at, when you want to answer, you're padding yourself with so many riders and saying, don't take it like this, don't take it like that. I'm not saying this, but I'm saying, the world has become like that. You're not allowed to say things without caveats added. But the fact remains that despite the fact that your fundamentals, your macroeconomic fundamentals remaining absolutely sound. And even now, just a week ago when World Bank and IMF came up with India's figures, they said we still continue to be the fastest growing economy. And that cannot be without basis. And even at that time, not one of the primary indicators that you picked up, your foreign exchange reserve, your inflation management, none of that is still worrisome. But despite that, yes, the funds are going out, the investment monies are going out. There are, I think I've said this earlier, there are more than just the commercial or the money market principles which govern flows, as it were. You tend to think if your macroeconomic fundamentals are fine, money will flow, and that's normal assumption. No, it doesn't. There are other considerations which are holding. And we can always flag ourselves or flog ourselves and say, more reforms are required. We are ready. Prime Minister is always keen to say, go ahead with reforms. We need to be easier an economy for people to come and invest and operate, and manufacturers, MSME, everybody should have it easy so that they can function. We are not against reforms. But is it just that? Or are they strategic consideration for big funders, big private equity operators, or big, fund managers to consider India? Let's have an open, big conversation. This country needs open, free conversation. It can't be always, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. Yes, we are ready to do all that. And under this Prime Minister, there's never a shut door when it comes to reforms. But please, all the domain experts, look at what is happening. Tell us, is it our fundamentals which is worrying? Is it our inflation, which has been kept completely under the control for the last 1.5 years? Yes, the exchange rate will be a consideration, serious consideration.
Another consideration that market participants often point out, and we've discussed this in the past as well, is the dual incidence of having capital gains as well as securities transactions tax. At this stage, is this something that the ministry is reviewing, or you think there is a case to review?
Again, a question which has been asked since the time I've come into this ministry, every year. And if that is again, I'm looking at ways in which I can answer without irritating anybody who thinks I'm not catering to their requirements. I'm not giving the answer that they want. I have that difficulty, but with that said, I'm still saying, 23-24, India saw highest investment into the country. Did it or did it not? 23-24 or 24-25? I would think 23-24. Even then, we had the tax on STT and capital gains. Yes, there was a time when everybody said, if you had long-term capital gains tax, it was a promise given some time ago that STT, the tax, would be removed. We've heard it. I understand the logic. But that's a question which is being asked even when 23-24 you had investments come into this country. So I'm neither saying yes, nor am I saying no. Please don't read, oh, she said this, so tomorrow she's going to remove STT. I'm not saying that. Nor am I saying it's right to continue with both. I'm not saying that either. But let's look at the context before we answer.
Having had the privilege of interviewing many times, I've never seen you give so many caveats. So that's also new.
They say, right, as you go through the experiences, you learn. Every year I'm adding newer caveats because I learn from Srutijit. Ma'am, but you said this. Ma'am, but you said that. So, please. Earlier, my fear used to be, will it become a headline tomorrow morning? I don't want a headline. Now I'm worried about many other things which come in the conversation.
Ma'am, about the stake sale in IDBI Bank, is this a recalibration of the process? Is there an overall rethink in terms of our disinvestment strategy? Where does it stand?
IDBI will go through the formal process. I think the explanation was given on why it couldn't go through the last time. So, the valuation issue. So, no, there is no halting IDBI. It'll happen.
India has historically been very good at, bringing in fast-track reforms in the face of external shocks. Right now, there is an external shock. Do we have enough structural reforms that are on your radar that, you think this is a good opportunity to work on?
Every challenge is an opportunity. There's no doubt. We will carry on with reforms. We will carry on with further, not just finance ministry. Every ministry is working on how best we can ease, the compliance norms, the regulatory stiffness. So work is happening on that, and you'll see gradually a lot more things happening.
Any tactical measures or relaxations for the industry that you're planning in the wake of the West Asia disruptions?
I don't know what tactical means here, but just as when you had the US tariff, we came with a package to help those who were exposed to the US market. Similarly, I think in December last year, we came up with a package again for people who are affected. There is also a discussion on I think it was even announced that we will give support similar to the support which was given during COVID, emergency liquidity credit guarantee scheme, something of that order for most of the units which have been affected because of the raw material supply disruptions, price going up, insurance risk. So all this is being kept up in mind, and things are being worked out.
Since the clock is blinking, I want to ask you a couple of political questions before we end. What do you make of the high voter turnout in West Bengal and Tamil Nadu?
You know, the normal cephalogist analysis would say when there is a strong anti-incumbency, when there is a change in the government, that's when there is a voter turnout of this kind of a significant number. And I guess, therefore, there will be a change going by this, voter turnout. There will be a change in West Bengal and Tamil Nadu.
And what is it about your party, ma'am, that so many opposition leaders around the country seem to want to leave their parties and join yours? What is the formula?
Formula is you run a responsive government, be a party which touches all the sections of the country, and be absolutely fair in dealing with every section of the society. Therefore, people get attracted, and you have a leadership in Prime Minister Modi, which has made him stay in public office for more than 25 years. Either as Chief Minister or as Prime Minister, one leader of this country who has continuously held that kind of a position without a question on his, integrity, his governance capability, appeals to people, so they come.
Two data points that are held in criticism of Indian private sector. One is that our spends on R&D is low compared with many other countries. Second is that private investment, as we've been discussing, has not quite picked up. With so many captains of industry here, anything you would like to say on these two regards?
Two things. One, if there is something which is worrying the industry and its priorities, we'd love to hear it, because in response to what we have heard in 2019 is when the taxation was brought down, corporate tax. And the ease of doing business, how much ever it is tarnished in terms of, you do in the name of ease of doing business so many things, but you burden the common man. These opposition arguments kept aside for a moment. Anything that which has to be done in the ease of doing business, we are certainly willing to hear. And any other difficulty that stops Indian industry from expansion or capacity building or investing in newer technologies, artificial intelligence, your production formula itself is going through a change. So anything, we'll be open to hearing and responding, so that industry doesn't feel that it wants to move ahead, but there are some things which are holding industry back. That's one. And second, I repeat this line which I've said earlier. India's domestic market still needs a lot of things for itself to be manufactured here in India. Everything that comes as import gives an opportunity for manufacturing it within the country, whether it's finished goods or intermediary. Why would we want to import when industry in India can produce that? There can, of course, be some items which you can't because of certain technology requirement which you may not have. But there are others. And in that, if Prime Minister Modi is talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, it is with a hope that Indian industry would come in to manufacture those goods which we no longer need to import. Would you want to consider that as a business opportunity or not? So it's one thing for us to go on saying Atmanirbhar, another also to make sure Indian industry gets all the support, but imports don't come down at all. How does that get explained? Wouldn't you want to produce for the sake of Indian consumers? And that's a huge market. So my response therefore would be, please be in conversation with the government. Tell us what you need, tell us what you want us to do so that you feel incentivized to further invest and grow. Equally, wouldn't you want to look at the opportunities that exist within India and do the manufacturing instead of importing it? Instead of not you, but the consumer is importing a lot of goods, end products. And businesses are importing a lot of goods which are intermediary. So there is, I think, some more agility, which is my expectation of India's industry.
With that loud and clear message, we will now wrap our conversation and get on to the next segment, which is the awards presentation. As always, a pleasure to be in chat with you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the Finance Minister of India.
Thank you. And ma'am, requested to please stay on stage with us. What a wonderful and fascinating conversation. Thank you so much once again, ma'am. Thank you for your clarity, that perspective, and for always reminding us that calm can be a form of leadership. And who better than Shrutijit to have this wonderful conversation with? Ma'am, we will request you to please be seated with us on stage. Thank you. And now I'd like to invite on stage the Honorable CM of Andhra Pradesh, Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu, to please join ma'am on stage as we are about to step into the next segment of the evening. Thank you for once again approaching the stage, sir. Thank you. Well, thank you both so much for being here. And with that, I'd like to take a moment here to invite a valued partner on stage to address us this evening. So please welcome the CEO, Deloitte South Asia, Mr. Romal Shetty, to please grace the stage and say a few words.
Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji, Honorable Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu Garu, distinguished leaders of India Inc., ladies and gentlemen, good evening. When I look around this room, I don't just see leaders of India Inc. I see the people who will decide how India shows up in the world over the next 25 years. It's a privilege to stand before you, the authors of India's next chapter. India has navigated a world that has moved from one crisis to another, from the COVID pandemic to Russia-Ukraine conflict to Gaza and now Iran. Through each phase, India has shown resilience anchored in a strong macroeconomic foundation and an increasingly anti-fragile structure. And yet, the environment we are operating in is becoming more demanding by the day. Risks have multiplied. Single-source dependencies, opaque data infrastructure, and cyber risks, institutions built for a stable world that no longer exists. The disruption is structural. It will not reverse. The question is not whether disruption comes, it's how fast you respond, how fast you recover, how decisively you respond, and whether you're built to thrive. India did not just get lucky. The world got complicated. We were ready. India is no longer participated in the global tech wave. We're shaping it from quantum to semiconductors to AI. Innovation is converging at scale. Our work with Niti Aayog is focused on building open, shared foundations, enabling India not just to adopt deep tech, but to industrialize it with trust and interoperability. We're also seeing audacious leadership at the state level. Leaders like Mr. Naidu have demonstrated what it means to act with intent, opening up ecosystems, attracting investment, and building technology-led governance models. These are not accidents. They are choices. Choices that reflect conviction in India's future and a willingness to act ahead of the curve. India is building its own stack. That is the difference between dependency and sovereignty. That brings me to something that demands more honest attention. India's individual adoption of AI is ahead of many developed nations. At the same time, corporate adoption is still catching up. There is a visible gap between how Indians use AI personally and how companies deploy it strategically. That gap is both a competitive risk and a leadership responsibility. And beyond the boardroom lies a real opportunity. 490 million informal workers still largely outside the technology revolution. Productivity, credit, skilling, and access remain offline. Our work with the Niti Frontier Tech Hub shows India can democratize technology, not as a product to sell, but as a public good to share. This is where corporate India has a defining role to play. The role is not just an investor, it is the architect of more equitable technology future. India is democratizing technology at a scale no country has attempted, and corporate India must lead that. As we look ahead, two qualities will define what corporates must now aim for. The companies that will define Indian businesses in 2047 are making their fundamental choices right now. Some of them are in this room. The first is the audacity, the willingness to bet on the future before it's obvious. Build capabilities that your current business models don't require and move not when the market forces you to, but before it does. The second is resilience, not the resilience of endurance, but one that is rooted in transformation. Embedding technology so deeply that every disruption becomes a door, not a wall. This resilience is built through technology, not despite it. Disruption tests character. What we're celebrating tonight is not just performance, it's the character of Indian enterprise. As we move towards Viksit Bharat 2047, we must understand that the journey is not a government promise, it is a private sector assignment. The awards recognize what has been built so far, but what comes next is the real test. Congratulations to all the winners and to everyone in the room who continue to build, shape, and lead India's future. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Romal. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, on to the heart of the evening. Over the years, the Economic Times Awards for Corporate Excellence have come to stand for something rare. Not merely success, not merely scale, but leadership, judgment, resilience, and vision that leaves a mark on business and often on the country itself. And before we begin tonight's honors, a special acknowledgement to this year's distinguished jury, whose rigor, wisdom, and discretion helped upload everything these awards stand for. So our sincere thanks to Jury Chair Sunil Bharti Mittal, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Devi Shetty, Lalit Keshre, Noel Tata, Priya Nair, Roshni Nadar Malhotra, Sajjan Jindal, and Uday Kotak. Could we have a huge round of applause for our wonderful jury? At their best, these awards do more than simply recognize achievement. They recognize the rare combination of vision, resolve, and institution building that leaves an imprint not only on industry, but on the larger story of India's growth. So tonight, we recognize those who have done exactly that. So without further ado, let us begin the 26th edition of the Economic Times Awards for Corporate Excellence. I request Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman to kindly present our first set of awards this evening. Our first honoree this evening helped change behavior at scale. As young Indians grew more curious about investing, he built a platform that made the markets feel simpler, less intimidating, and far more accessible. He helped bring millions of first-time investors into the financial mainstream, and in a country where stock advice is still most aggressively dependent and dispensed by uncles at weddings and on WhatsApp groups, we have him. The Economic Times Award, therefore, for Entrepreneur of the Year goes to founder and CEO Grow, Lalit Kesre.
In less than a decade, Lalit Kesri has rewritten the rules of stockbroking and wealth management in India. What began as a Bengaluru startup is today the country's largest mutual fund distribution and stock trading platform, overtaking legacy bank-backed brokerages and profitable fintechs that once dominated the space. Lalit built Grow to expand rapidly while keeping the company firmly in the black. A rare feat in India's startup landscape. Its IPO marked a defining milestone. Strong investor demand and stellar market debut signaled the arrival of a credible new age financial institution. Today, Grow serves over 12 million users across broking, mutual funds, and advisory, emerging as a dominant force in retail investing. For building a formidable financial powerhouse rooted in trust, discipline, and scale, Lalit Kesri is honored as the Economic Times Entrepreneur of the Year.
Congratulations. Lalit, invite you on stage. Entrepreneur of the Year 2025. Lalit requests you to please say a few words.
Hello everyone, thank you so much. I was not expecting the first one, but first of all, thank you so much ET Awards for this recognition. Although I'm taking this award, but needless to say, like it's the team that does all the work, all the hard work, and I'm very grateful to all of you on my team's behalf. I'm also very grateful to our customers because of who are trusted us with their hard-earned money and wealth. And apart from that, we are also very grateful to our progressive regulations and digital public infrastructure, without which I don't think it would have been possible for us to build Grow. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you once again, Lalit. Many congratulations once again. Our next honor celebrates a leader who has earned trust the difficult way, over time. And as long-time HDFC customer myself, I say this with deep affection. When an institution becomes part of your financial life, you understand that kind of reliability very personally. Under her leadership, one of India's leading life insurance companies has continued to grow with confidence and credibility. Ladies and gentlemen, the Economic Times Award for Businesswoman of the Year goes to MD and CEO HDFC Life Insurance, Vibha Padalkar. Vibha Padalkar, congratulations. Take a look at this, please.
Leading a giant through structural change demands clarity and conviction. Since taking the helm in 2018, Vibha Padalkar has steered HDFC Life to its evolution into a key subsidiary of HDFC Bank. Under her leadership, the company's market capitalization has surged to 1.65 lakh crore rupees, reflecting a nearly twofold growth in value. Her strategic grit was most evident in the landmark 6,687 crore rupee acquisition of Exide Life Insurance, a move that significantly deepened the company's presence across India's smaller towns and cities. She delivered a compounded annual growth of 17% in annualized premium equivalent between financial years 2021 to 2025. By balancing fiscal discipline with a digital-first approach to insurance, she has ensured that HDFC Life remains a formidable leader in a competitive market. In recognition of her steady leadership and the scale of transformation she has driven, the Economic Times honors Vibha Padalkar as the Businesswoman of the Year.
Congratulations, Ms. Padalkar. We'd like to invite you on stage to receive this well-deserved honor.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks to Economic Times for this honor. I'm deeply grateful to the jury, humbled to receive this award in the presence of our Honorable Finance Minister, Madam Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu, and all the distinguished leaders gathered here this evening. You know, on a lighter note, they say women leaders are good at juggling many roles. Tonight I will add one more, that I've been asked to keep this speech within 2 minutes, so I'll try that. No Journey is an individual event, so I share this recognition with over 38,000 HDFC lifers, some of whom are here today, our promoter, HDFC Bank, and their support throughout, our 2.5 lakh financial consultants and 350 plus corporate partners. I'm also blessed to have parents who are here in this room today who've taught me to be fearless and to dream without constraint. My husband Umesh is my rock of Gibraltar and a safe space where I'm guilt-free in the pursuit of my professional goals. Our son Arjun, as a young child, timed his illness over weekends, and that made it a lot easier for me. Now, if I may use this opportunity to highlight 3 priorities. The first one is that we need more women in workforce, especially in corporate India, and this makes very good business sense. So it is not a diversity agenda. Second, as we look at India's future, financial literacy has to become a core life skill for all our youth. The ability to save, invest, manage risk is as important as any other formal education. And finally, while insurance in India has sometimes earned a mixed reputation, whether due to complexity of products and other matters, the fundamental need still remains that we cannot become Viksit Bharat without having a strong foundation of insurance for all by 2047. So I accept this award with gratitude, but also with a deep sense of responsibility to keep advancing these priorities in whatever way that I can. Thank you once again for this honor. It means a great deal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Padalkar. Congratulations again on a richly deserved honor. Thank you. Now, some companies grow with the country, some become part of the country's daily life. Our next winner is one of those institutions. Over the years, it's a name that has woven itself into how India speaks, works, watches, pays, and panics when the bars drop to 1. Yes, the Economic Times Award for Company of the Year goes to Bharti Airtel.
Dial A for Airtel, B for Bharat, C for Connect, and you glimpse a nation powered by seamless connectivity. In a year of rapid digital acceleration, Airtel led one of the world's fastest 5G rollouts, expanding across cities, towns, and villages, bringing next-generation connectivity to millions. Today, it is a full-stack digital provider spanning broadband, cloud, cybersecurity, IoT, fintech, and data centers, powering businesses and everyday digital experiences. The telecom major delivered a strong financial performance with robust revenue growth and improving margins, driving a healthy bottom line. It now operates in 15 countries with industry-leading ARPU, reflecting a premium, future-ready portfolio. For its leadership, innovation, and impact empowering India's digital future, Bharti Airtel is honored as the Economic Times Company of the
And I just want to say a big thank you to ET and the jury for conferring us with this award. When we look back, 2019 looks like yesterday when we were fighting for survival. And from that day to this day where we have this award as the best company of the year, it's been a journey. It's been a journey that tells us that we're doing something right with our business, something right with our customers and our people. There's a big shout out to all the people of Airtel, my team, and everyone back there who have made this journey possible. I receive this behalf of all of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations to you and the entire team at Bharti Airtel. Congratulations. Our next award celebrates a leader who has mastered a rare art in public life, winning over big business not through rhetoric, but through speed, structure, and delivery. With over 10.7 lakh crore in investments flowing into Andhra Pradesh just over the last 18 months, and with major projects already under implementation, his leadership has made the state's economic ambition feel both credible and immediate, and reaffirmed his reputation as the original CEO-CM. The Economic Times Award for Business Reformer of the Year goes to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu.
In Andhra Pradesh, governance has become a competitive advantage. Few leaders have turned governance into a growth engine quite like N. Chandrababu Naidu, whose policies have powered the state's transformation into a premier global investment destination. Operating as the original CEO Chief Minister, he has brought a new, tech-based rigor to governance. In just 18 months, his sector-specific policies have secured 10.7 lakh crore rupees in approved investments, including landmark projects such as a $15 billion data center cluster by Google and India's largest greenfield steel plant. Renowned as an early proponent of IT, who established Hyderabad as a tech hub, his vision for creating new cities continues with the development of Amravati. Today, the same vision ensures that immense economic growth directly cross-subsidizes crucial welfare schemes for the underprivileged. N. Chandrababu Naidu is presented the Economic Times Business Reformer of the Year award for his bold policies and relentless drive to transform lives through enterprise.
Congratulations, sir. Ma'am, I will request you to please present the award. Congratulations, sir. We're going to request you to kindly say a few words. Sir, I would request you to please use the handheld mic on the podium. It's already on the podium. Just the handheld mic, sir. Thank you so much.
Honorable Minister Nirmala Sitharaman Garu and friends, I am really happy to receive this award, Reformer of the Year. This award will give me, or it will bring some more investments to my state. That is my ambition now. You heard brief how we are attracting investment. Now to experience, all of you has to come to Andhra Pradesh, have one investment, then how our reforms are working, you have to give me judgment afterwards. Very soon, all of you are coming to Andhra Pradesh in your respective areas, and then invest in Andhra Pradesh. That is my request to all of you. Friends, we are all in an inspiring time. I have seen so many changes in this country. One is technology. I know the days where telecommunication sector was totally, we are having a primitive structure at that time. Now, Airtel, we have awarded. At that time, we had only two companies, BSNL, VSNL, public sector. One is domestic, one is international. You wanted to connect anybody, there is a lightning call. Lightning call will come after 1 week or it may not mature. But you know the operator, he will cross all the limits, he will connect directly. At that time, China used to pass very fast. Every day they are adding cell phones. Then I was very, very fond of introducing all these things, reforms. The day I remember today, BSNL has given me 2 Mbps. Morning 6 o'clock, I used to have collector's conference. Data, everything, I used to get that. At that time, I used to go to Doordarshan every Friday, dial your CM. Today, anywhere you are, from there you can have a live. At that time, everybody questioned me, you want pump set or you want cell phone? They used to heckle me. Today, I am very happy. The then Prime Minister, Vajpayee ji, has taken a bold decision. I have given that report. Now Airtel has to pay some premium for me. You are not paying anything. That is the report we have given, Jaswant Singh, the then Finance Minister, and myself. Today, that has transformed economy like anything. I am always for reforms. Today, we are having more advantages. Real time, you want to do anything, real time, you are in a position to do it. Either AI or data center, space, satellites, drones, even cell phones, wearables, semiconductor, not one. Everything is available. The day I am thinking very clearly, I am getting all my information. We are having one more advantage, that is Aadhaar, authentication of every individual. DBT, we are able to communicate immediately. I am very happy I associated this sector. Our Honorable Prime Minister has entrusted me digital currency, give the report. There is a committee. I worked in that committee. Today, India is having highest transactions on digital currency All these things happened within 10 years' time. So with everything, what I wanted to inform all of you, earlier I used to talk ease of doing business. Now I am talking speed of doing business. Even in government, I am talking speed of delivering governance. 900 services, real time I am providing on WhatsApp, Manamitra. Back end I am using AI, and also I am getting nearly 45 parameters real time. All process online. Historical data is available. Very soon we are going to give every citizen AI doctor, agronomy assistant, even tutor. AI tutor also we are going to give every person. But ultimately, human intelligence is very, very important. Finally, I am telling you, we need leadership. You have proper leadership, you can do wonders now. The day will come, as on today you are seeing. Earlier in the beginning, I used to see only we used to do job work. Around 2000, we have introduced reforms. Recently, our Honorable Prime Minister, same BSNL, TCS, and one of the private company, and IIT Chennai, they innovated 4G. All these years, we are not going for products. We are users of that products. We are paying more and more money for foreign companies. Now our youth is doing extremely well. Even I can say, anywhere in the world, Indians are working extremely well. Highest per capita income earners are Indians. Among Indians, my Telugu community is leading because first more advantage over a period of time. So I wish all the best. You wish you want to do anything, it is possible today. Policies, public policies, I am very happy. Honorable Finance Minister is here. She is very practical, very creative, and also very, very diplomatic. You have seen our answers also today. And also that is being a woman, always I used to say earlier days, women are the best finance ministers. Now Madam is proving the best finance minister for the country in the recent past. Under her leadership, and also our Honorable Prime Minister, again and again you have to keep in mind, is a reformer, is a performer, and also is a winner. That is where for the last 25 years, he is winning continuously all elections. Now I am learning from him also how to win continuously. This is where country needs this type of leadership, more stability, more stable growth. That is going to happen. All of us will work as a team. I am telling you, India will be number one. No other country can beat India. It is a matter of time. For you again, I am requesting you, you are coming very soon to Andhra Pradesh, have one investment. Welcome to you. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Many congratulations once again, and we request you to please remain seated with us on stage. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, our next honoree is a leader whose career has been defined by scale, appetite, and industrial conviction. Over the years, he has built across sectors, backed large bets, and helped shape the story of Indian enterprise with a style that is expansive, restless, and unmistakably hands-on. This is leadership that does not wait politely for growth to arrive. It goes out and builds the steel, energy, and infrastructure for it. Which is why the Economic Times Award for Business Leader of the Year goes to Chairman and MD, JSW Group, Sajjan Jindal.
Aggressive bets, financial discipline, and resilience in the face of turbulence. These have defined Sajjan Jindal's leadership at the JSW Group, transforming it into one of India's most diversified industrial powerhouses, spanning steel, energy, paints, automobiles, cement, and ports. Over the past year alone, the group sealed 41,000 crore rupees worth of energy deals and executed a landmark acquisition in paints, propelling it to the top ranks of a fiercely competitive sector. Under Jindal's leadership, JSW has reinforced its position as India's leading producer of the alloy. Across businesses, the group has demonstrated disciplined growth, strategic expansion, and the ability to scale new ventures with speed and conviction. Built from a small base and powered by teamwork, the group's journey has been forged in risk. For his bold leadership and enduring impact, Sajjan Jindal is honored as the Economic Times Business Leader of the Year.
Congratulations, Mr. Jindal. Mr. Jindal, the stage is yours, sir. Request you to please say a few words.
Honorable Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharamanji, Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Shri Chandrababu Naidu Garu, distinguished members of the jury and friends, thank you. Thank you for this honor. When I was in my early 20s, I would always attend shareholder meetings, AGMs of Tata Steel, Hindalco, and Reliance. I would sit there as a young boy, wide-eyed, watching men who had built empires from nothing, answers questions from ordinary shareholders with complete dignity. No airs, just quiet confidence and an absolute respect for every single person in the room. I didn't always follow every number on the balance sheet, but I understood something far more important. I understood what it feels like to build something that belongs to everyone. That stayed with me. Every furnace we have lit, every ton of steel we have poured, every megawatt we have added to this country's grid, it has never felt like business to me. It has always felt like participation in India's story. People ask me, aren't you afraid? Isn't it frightening to bet so much, so often? And I tell them honestly, no. Because I always believed in the potential of my country, my people, and my company, every single time. But here is what I have learned. The joy of creation is always greater than the fear of failure. None of these creations would have been possible without my team. Awards like this belong to all the tens of thousands of workmen that work relentlessly in hot weather, handling 1500 degrees centigrade steel and toil all day to help us realize the vision that we see for our group. My father once told me, it is these workmen who are your real strength. You must always take care of them, as they are the one who are building or fulfilling your ambitions and your dreams. It is to this effect that since the inception of JSW, we have never lost a single man day to any unrest or any operation due to workmen issues. This award belongs to the top management of JSW who have been with me for a very long time. This award belongs to all my three brothers who have stayed together through thick and thin. And this award also belongs to the shareholders and the partners who have believed in me all through my journey. The engineers, this award also belongs to all the engineers in the organization, the managers, the chartered accountants, and everybody who are united by a single dream, not my dream, our dream, to build something worthy of this country, and it belongs to India. Because in the end, every one of us here is only as significant as the nation we are building together. That is all I have ever tried to do, and with your support, with India's energy behind us, that is exactly what JSW will keep doing. Thank you once again to the jury and to Economic Times for this recognition. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Jindal, and congratulations once again on this honor. Thank you. And now, we move to honors of a different order. The Economic Times Lifetime Achievement Award. This award is not simply about longevity. It is about consequence. It is about a life's work whose impact has extended far beyond business itself. Few business leaders can truly be said to have influenced not just a company, but the shape and imagination of urban India itself. Our first Lifetime Achievement honoree is one of them. Across decades, he helped build one of India's most influential real estate stories, and in the process became inseparable from the rise of modern Gurugram as a business and urban landmark. It is a legacy of vision, scale, and transformation. The Economic Times Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Chairman Emeritus DLF, Mr. K.P. Singh.
Before Gurugram became the corporate heartbeat of modern India, it was scrubland on the edge of Delhi. Kushalpal Singh imagined a city into existence. Through sustained advocacy and direct engagement with hundreds of farmers, he assembled thousands of acres and laid the foundation of one of India's first